When no one believes you, the invisible battle for safe housing. Have you ever had that moment when you're standing in your own home, staring at black mold creeping across your ceiling, and the person who's supposed to help you fix it looks you straight in the eye and says, I don't see anything wrong? That moment when reality itself seems to bend around you, when you begin to question if you're actually seeing what you're seeing, when you wonder if maybe, just maybe, you're the crazy one. I recently had the profound privilege of interviewing Irene CI, a revolutionary force in housing justice whose work has fundamentally transformed how we understand the intersection of race, gender, and housing rights. Her insights aren't just valuable, they're life changing. Irene has spent decades in the trenches fighting battles most of us never see, documenting injustices most of us never experience, and creating pathways to justice where none existed before. She doesn't just advocate, she rebuilds the very systems that have failed marginalized communities for generations. The most insidious form of oppression, Irene told me, is the one that makes you doubt your own experience. This isn't just about leaky faucets or peeling paint. This is about a system designed to make certain voices, particularly those of Black women, seem hysterical, unreasonable, or invisible when they demand the basic human right of safe shelter. Let me be clear, this isn't paranoia. This is documented reality. In the Bronx between 2013 and 2018, families in public housing developments lived with toxic mold, so severe it triggered asthma attacks in their children. When they complained, they were told they weren't cleaning properly, that it was their fault, that they were exaggerating. One mother, let's call her Denise, took her 5-year-old daughter to the emergency room 6 times in a single winter. Each time, doctors asked about environmental factors. Each time she mentioned the mold. Each time she returned home to file another complaint that disappeared into bureaucratic oblivion. I started to think maybe I was imagining how bad it was, she told investigators later. Maybe everyone's bathroom looks like this, and I'm just being dramatic. These weren't isolated incidents of a few difficult tenants. This was systematic gaslighting that disproportionately affected Black families, particularly those headed by single mothers. And here's the kicker: when these same tenants finally gathered enough evidence to file a federal lawsuit against the New York City Housing Authority, they won. A landmark settlement forced NYCHA to completely overhaul their mold remediation protocols. Turns out they weren't crazy after all. But why did it take a federal lawsuit for someone to believe them? I can almost hear some of you thinking, well, that's public housing, that's different. Is it though? In 2022, a single mother in Flatbush, Brooklyn, living in what was marketed as a nice rent stabilized apartment, reported toxic air quality and rodent infestation to her property management. Their response: harassment, intimidation, eviction notices. The message was clear: be quiet or be homeless. But she didn't stay quiet. She documented everything, every email, every text, every photo of unsafe conditions. She named every maintenance worker who visited and never returned. She recorded every promise made and broken. She photographed her children's worsening eczema and connected it to the building's air quality issues. She connected with local tenant unions who had seen this playbook before. And when she brought her landlord to housing court on retaliation grounds, she won. The court ordered the landlord to remedy all violations within 30 days and pay damages for emotional distress. Again, she wasn't crazy. She wasn't difficult. She was right. But why did she have to prove it so exhaustively? As Irene CI powerfully articulated during our conversation, The burden of proof placed on Black women tenants isn't just heavy, it's deliberately crushing. It's designed to exhaust you into silence. This isn't accidental, this is by design. When systems of power want to maintain the status quo, the first step is to make the oppressed doubt their own reality, to make them question whether their suffering is real or imagined, to isolate them. Because isolated people don't organize. Isolated people don't sue. Isolated people don't change systems. But what happens when they refuse to stay isolated? In Harlem, during the height of the COVID pandemic in 2020, a mother facing chronic leaks and black mold throughout her building hired a lawyer to help. When that lawyer failed her, missing deadlines and suggesting she settle quietly, she didn't give up. Instead, she organized her entire building. She slipped notes under doors. She created a WhatsApp group. She held socially distanced meetings in the courtyard. Residents pooled their evidence, documented every violation collectively, and went public through local media. The first time we'd all got together, she later recalled, people cried, not because they were sad, but because they realized they weren't alone. They weren't imagining things, they weren't too sensitive. Their children really were getting sick because of the conditions. The result? Expedited repairs, partial rent abatements, and pro bono legal representation arranged through nonprofit clinics. One voice became many, and many voices became too loud to ignore. This is the power of collective documentation. This is the power of refusing to be gaslit. This is the power of knowing, truly knowing that your experience is valid. As Irene CI emphasizes, documentation isn't just about building a case, it's about reclaiming your sanity in a system designed to make you doubt yourself. So, what does this documentation look like in practice? It's the date and time you called maintenance and who you spoke to. It's the email you sent following up on that call. It's the photo of the water damage, time stamped and geotagged. It's the doctor's note linking your child's worsening asthma to the mold in your bathroom. It's the certified letter you sent to your landlord. It's the complaint number from the city housing department. It's the text messages between you and your neighbors confirming that, yes, everyone's apartments are flooding when it rains. It sounds exhausting, doesn't it? It is. That's part of the design, too. The system counts on you getting tired, on you giving up, on you deciding that maybe living with black mold is easier than fighting a battle where all the rules seem rigged against you. But here's what Irene CI wants you to know: you are not alone in this fight. There are tenant unions in every major city. There are legal aid organizations specializing in housing justice. There are community groups filled with people who have stood exactly where you're standing now. And most importantly, there are other tenants in your building who are probably experiencing the same issues you are, who are probably also being told they're imagining things. Find them, talk to them, organize with them, because the most powerful weapon against gaslighting is collective reality checking. It's hearing someone else say, yes, I see it too. Now, I want to be clear about something. This isn't just a housing issue. This is a racial justice issue. This is a gender justice issue. This is an economic justice issue. When we look at who is most likely to be disbelieved, dismissed, or blamed for unsafe housing conditions, the pattern is unmistakable. Black women, particularly those heading households alone, bear the brunt of this systemic gaslighting. They are more likely to be labeled as difficult when they advocate for themselves. They are more likely to face retaliation when they speak up. They're more likely to be told that their lived experience isn't real. As Irene CI pointed out during our conversation, The same system that tells Black women their pain isn't real in medical settings tells them their housing conditions aren't really that bad. It's the same playbook, just different settings. But here's the thing about gaslighting: it only works if you're isolated, it only works if you don't have evidence, it only works if you don't know your rights. So let me tell you what Irene CI wants you to know about your rights. You have the right to a habitable home, period. You have the right to make repair requests without fear of retaliation. You have the right to organize with other tenants. You have the right to file complaints with housing authorities. You have the right to take legal action when necessary. And most fundamentally, you have the right to be believed. The fact that these rights are routinely violated doesn't make them any less real. The fact that you have to fight for them doesn't make them any less yours. So, what can you do starting today? First, start documenting everything, every interaction, every condition, every promise made and broken. Use your phone to take photos and videos. Keep a log with the dates and times. Save every email, every text, every letter. Second, connect with the local tenant organizations. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are people who have been fighting this fight for decades who can guide you through the process. Third, share what you learn with another person who might be struggling silently right now. Knowledge is power, but shared knowledge is liberation. I want to end with something powerful that Irene CI said that has stayed with me. When they tell you that you're crazy for seeing what you see, remember this: they're not confused. They're counting on your confusion. They're banking on your isolation. They're investing in your silence. So today, I'm asking you to do something radical. Believe yourself. Trust your eyes, honor your experience, document everything, find others like you, and refuse, absolutely refuse, to be gaslit into accepting conditions that no human being should have to endure. Because safe housing isn't a luxury, it's not a privilege, it's a fundamental human right. And the fight for that right isn't just about fixing a leaky roof or removing mold. It's about dismantling systems that were built to make certain voices, certain lives matter less than others. As you leave here today, I want you to look around. Someone in this room is fighting this battle right now. Someone here has been told they're imagining things. Someone here has been made to feel crazy for demanding basic dignity. Reach out to them, believe them, stand with them, because in the end, the most revolutionary act in a system designed to make you doubt yourself is to say with absolute certainty, I know what I know, I see what I see, and I will not be silent about it anymore.